Esther, Hashem HaKadosh Baruch Hu was there. He was present. But he was in the era, in the time of non-revelation. And Yosef is the same thing. And that is why Yosef is called a tzaddik. And Mordechai as well is called a tzaddik. Why? Because they find God in the most challenging, difficult situation where God is not, seems to be, not there. And therefore, it's important for us to remember that since we are finding ourselves in a non-prophetic era, we are challenged to find God. The challenge that we have is to see God, to feel God, to connect with God, to speak to God, even though God is in an era, in a moment that He is not revealing Himself. And Yosef is the example for, as a beacon across generations, in the same way that he went through all these difficulties and challenges in his life. And he realized through that God is the one who's there. He's knocking on his door. It's up to us to do the same. And I'll share with you what it says in Shir HaShirim. Shir HaShirim, as you know, the Gemara speaks about Shir HaShirim that was written by Shlomo HaMelech. In the beginning, the Gemara, the Chazal, the rabbis wanted to abolish this book because they thought, it's what is written there? It's a love story between husband and wife, between men and women. But then they realized that actually Shir HaShirim is Kodesh Kadashim, is the Holy of Holies. Why? Because it's talking about Knesset Israel, about Am Israel and HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the love story between us and HaKadosh Baruch Hu, how we cannot separate ourselves from Hashem. So interestingly, it says in one of the Psukim there, that God, it's talking about God, who's coming to Am Israel. He's coming to Am Israel and he says, Kumi, wake up, Ahoti, Rayati, Yonati, Tamati, my beloved one. He's knocking on the door. And what is the reaction of Am Israel? Am Israel says, I'm already in my bed. I already washed myself, bathed myself, and I'm not going to get out. In a sense, it's like a king who's saying to one of his sons or daughters who lives across the globe, I'm going to come and visit you. And the day that the king comes, he thinks there's going to be a royal treatment. After all, he's coming to visit his beloved child. And as he gets to that city, that country, Gurnish Bidwonish, there's nothing. And the king says, maybe they're sick, maybe whatever. He goes to the door, knocks on the door. Who is there? It's your Abba. Oh, Abba, I'm in bed. I'll come soon. Yeah, but waits a little bit. The king waits. No one comes. And he leaves. And then next morning, when the child wakes up, oh, my Abba was here. I fell asleep. He opens the door. The father's not there. He's talking about us. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, fine, he's not revealing himself. But he's knocking on our doors. I have no doubt that each one of us has messages from God. But we have to be a kli, a vessel that is not broken in order to be able to get the bracha or the message from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. If the kli, which is our neshama, our goof, our body that God gave us, is broken, it's a kli shavur, then HaKadosh Baruch Hu, as much as he's going to knock, you're not going to be able to understand that He is knocking, that He is wanting to converse with us. And therefore Yosef is the one, Yosef HaTzadik is the one who is telling us that it is up to each one of us to really tune ourselves to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to God. Understanding that God is here. That God wants to converse with us, wants to communicate with us, wants to have a relationship with us. However, it is up to us, as Yosef did, to bring HaKadosh Baruch Hu into our lives. To be the ones who are going to be patuach, who are going to be open, and realize that here is HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I'm going to open the door for Him. And I'll share with you a little anecdote that happened to me a year ago. I was taking some voice lessons from someone, a Jew, who is very spiritual. Not so connected, but extremely spiritual. And this is what he told me. Went to him for one session. We have these exercises. You close your eyes, and you breathe in, and you breathe out, and whatever it is, and it tells you, you're spiritual, and you have 4 letters in the name of Hashem, the Yud-Ke when you breathe out, and you Vav-Ke when you breathe in, and the whole thing. And then he tells me, remember, that when you are standing on the bima, on the teva, and you are about to open your mouth, representing your congregation, remember that you are a vessel that God created. And everything that is going to come out of your mouth is from God. So close your eyes for a moment. Before you open your mouth, before anything comes out of your mouth, and have in your mind, and speak to God in your mind. Tell Him, God, I'm here in front of you. I'm your vessel. Now it's up to you. Whatever you want is going to come out of you. And then he sent me this email with this message, and he told me, have the email next to you as you are about to start chanting or opening your mouth or and this is, it was a good message for me. Very good. We say it every day. You say the Amidah. Hashem Sefatay Tiftach. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you the one who's going to open my mouth.
You have to be careful. I said what I'm saying, not nonsense. You can't argue.
Oh!
Yeah, it takes 23. You have to be careful there.
Right, so
I'm not responsible for what I said.
Right. But
yeah.
But the fact is that we have to remember that. And that reminds me, by the way, of part of our literature that we say on the high holidays, where the Shaliach Tzibur says, Lefanecha, in front of you, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Ani nechshav, I'm considering myself ketola'at ketana ba'adama, like a little worm in the earth. So this is the way that we have to approach God, with humility. And I think that if we do it with humility and really show HaKadosh Baruch Hu that He is the one who's in charge, I have no doubt that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will see that this is a good vessel. And God is going to, dramatically, is going to knock on our doors. And we will be able, through this humility that we're going to create, because that's what Yosef did, by the way. He became humble. After all this era where he's thinking about himself, there's a new era in his life, which is the era of humility, the era of understanding that God is here. Through that, if we follow this example, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will have no other choice but to open Himself, reveal Himself to us personally, and through that, we will be able to have this revelation of God in a concealed way, but certainly a revelation of HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to be upon all of us. And by the way, each one of us could find it. I find it sometimes in a very, very, in things that people think that it's maybe silly. Right? But there are moments that you are somewhere and something happens and you realize that this is, this is HaKadosh Baruch Hu, this is God. This is what God wants from you. Or you're praying for something that seems to be, and some people will say, some people ask me, they say, is God looking into every little detail that is going on? The answer is yes. Hashgacha pratit. This is what the divine presence is all about. This is what divine providence is all about. God is looking and watching each little thing that we do. The Gemara even says that when we put our hand in our pocket, how much money do we have in our pocket? Something that God is the one who already knows, who already decides. And that's why, by the way, that's customary by some never to really take out all their money from their pocket because maybe there's a bracha there. Maybe God is blessing our pocket with a lot of money, and therefore it's better not to know how much money I have in my pocket. Some people do that. But the fact is, I think the message is clear. The message is, it's up to us to open up to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to be this kli malei bracha, this vessel that is full of blessing as Yosef was, and through that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will reveal himself. Ezrat Hashem, through that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to eventually, V'haya Hashem le'melech al kol ha'aretz, it's going to be a time that God is going to come back to the time of Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, and Israel were in Mitzrayim, where it is going to be a great revelation at that time. V'haya Hashem le'melech al kol ha'aretz, God is going to be the one, Hashem is going to be the one who's going to be king all over the earth, and Hashem Echad U'Shmo Echad, his name will be Ezrat Hashem. Thank you very much. ברוכים תהיו. בסדר? ותודה רבה לך יעקב. לילה טוב. ביי.
Rabbi, you say that someone asked me if Hashem taking care of all of us.
Yes.
I would say, לא ינום ולא ישן.
שומר ישראל. נכון. But some say, ואומרים